Hello, my love. Hi, listeners,
Hey, listeners.
and welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea. Yay, Friday! Friday, December 6th.
Yes.
And we got us some good tea we're gonna talk about today, honey. I'm gonna actually try something a little different. I'm gonna try to do what because I don't think I ever really like try to test it out in its full potential, but
hmm
like using my Facebook page as well and seeing if I try to like share videos from that end, will it make a difference?
Well,
If
it
it
might.
doesn't, I'll just hand you the links and have you play them.
Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like some of the stuff that we're gonna talk about today, unless you see the video clip, it really won't. I can talk about it all day, but it really will. I think y'all need to hear it for yourselves.
Yeah. The ads on Facebook aren't as egregious as the web pages, so it might work.
Let's hope. Hey,
Mm.
Will, favorite Taurus.
Will in the house.
Okay, let me. So when y'all see Derek Johnson come up here, y'all don't need to act no different. Derek Johnson is still as ratchet as Auntie Derek. So
Okay.
Are you cool?
yeah, you know what? I'm not sure because I do. When I have my corporate hat on, I be corporate. So,
Hmm. It's giving very much I am Sasha Fierce, so you never
hell,
know.
hello. Talk about a cold switch, honey. Yes, yes, yes. So I'm gonna wait a couple of minutes and then we'll get started. Let me come in here on my Facebook page.
Well, while I have this couple of minutes, I've just noticed a little increase on people are saying how things seem to be being approved medically, insurance wise. Someone's girlfriend works in a pharmacy, and things they usually have to go through getting stuff approved, every day seems to be going smoothly. However, apparently UHC is mm, back on its bullshit.
Oh,
I don't think they listening. Yeah, yep. To say about the last hour, maybe they started out in the beginning approving things, and then they in the last hour they denied everything. So I don't know what that means, but hmm,
mm-mm. Look, FAFO.
mhm. We're watching. We're watching
I'm telling you, honey, people is fed up.
completely, and I cannot blame them because people die and no one is accountable for that. It's just, oh, it's terrible. They get away with it, but that's not gonna fly much longer. You're basically committing murder and getting away with it. That's basically what it is. I mean, let's call a spade a spade.
Okay, so yeah, Chili, I don't think that's gonna work because when I try to share like my screen, it just only allows me to share the camera on my phone.
Oh, Facebook probably has some kind of block on it.
Hmm. Yeah, so Derek Johnson can leave. Bye.
Bye, Derek.
I don't like that bitch anyway. I heard he was stuck up. Let me
Uh,
stop.
You would know.
Like, could you believe some people have actually said that about me, honey?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, child.
How?
Listen, I don't. What they say, people perception is their reality. I can't control that. I don't know how they're getting it because I feel like that's not the kind of energy I put out or I have ever put out.
It's not, but I could see maybe how, some people would think that. People always have a perception of you that you don't think they do. And then once they get to
Hmm.
know you, they're like, "Oh, I thought you were such and such, but you're cool." I'm like, "Yeah,
You know what? Whenever that happens to me, what you know what I always say?
what?"
Well, good thing you don't get paid for thinking.
I know that's right.
You be fired. What's up, Carl? Hey, Abby.
Girl, Queen of Happiness. Hey, y'all.
People used to always tell me they thought I was mean. The new nurses coming in. Ooh, I thought you were mean.
Mm,
Yeah, I heard that a lot.
probably because you was just like Miss Barbara Howard from Abbott Elementary. Look, come in, you do your work, you praise the Lord, and you go home.
And I didn't stand around and talk to them because a lot of them, I was already older. Like, they weren't even in my like peer group other than our profession. So I'm not standing around, yapping with you. But if you
Mm,
ask me a question, I mean, I was friendly enough, but they, until they got to know me in that way, so many nurses told me that. Plus, they were all, um, yes, they were. Um, so
I got resting bitch face, so everybody thinks I'm an asshole.
what they not wrong about you. No shot. Let me stop.
Touche.
yeah, yeah, we can sense that about you, Carl.
No, what I think it is. A lot of people don't appreciate Carl's. He has that dry humor.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you listen to the way he said, Carl is actually funny as hell. But I guess a lot of people that kind of rubs people out because I ain't gonna lie to you, Cup. It's been a few people up, especially like when when we're all in spaces heavily. It's been a few people in my DMs telling me that they did not care for you, honey. They thought you was just the most pompous jackass they have ever come in contact with. And I'm defending. I'm like, no, he's not like that.
He kind of is, but he's our
Oof.
punk jacket. We let Carl be Carl.
I don't think I'm mean. I might be honest.
No, you're pompous.
Oh.
It's
Sure.
okay. I mean, it's who you are. You're not a mean person. You're right.
Ooh, and I'm glad Benji's here because I know she watches that show Selling Sunset. I don't watch it, but I have something to talk about from one of the people from that show. But when she comes back.
I was about to say I don't see Benji.
But hey, let's go ahead and get started with the tea, honey.
Tea time.
Yes. So there's actually no Diddy news, no updated Diddy news to share. I guess everything is as is. I think the last thing we talked about was his holiday plans while he's behind bars. He's gonna play some cards, some dominoes, and eat some Cornish hen.
Mm, I'm kind
But
of
the
happy
first
about that.
right. Now the first story I have, honey, Judge Mathis, after just getting back with his wife, he about to be sued for
Oh,
allegedly threatening to shoot a city worker, honey.
wow.
And I just shared this link from TMZ. And apparently, what happened was, it's kind of funny. I'm sorry, because I can actually see Judge Mathis doing that. Judge Mathis and his lawyer denied it happened this way. But knowing who Judge Mathis is and after watching him for years, I think it happened exactly like it said in these court documents. So, uh, in the docs obtained by TMZ, a man named Ricardo Acosta claims that he was on the job with the LA Department of Water and Power back in July of last year. He was working outside of Judge Mathis' home when he says the TV judge started swearing at him. Acosta claims Mathis was pulling out of his garage in his car. Then he got out the vehicle and started hurling expletives, yelling at Acosta, "Move the fuck out of the way." He says the city worker claims that Mathis was standing behind the dump truck at this point, and he says he told Mathis to move from behind the truck for safety reasons because he was concerned that the truck would roll backwards when put into gear because it was parked on an incline. Acosta claims Mathis told him that he did not give a F and run him over and see what happens to him. He says Mathis then told him he had something for him, ran to the house, returned with a gun, and then
Wow.
He said Acosta claimed Mathis brandished a firearm and stated, "I will bust a cap. You want to fuck with me?"
Y'all keep forgetting this man is from the D.
Over
Exactly.
that, oh, that's kind of ridiculous, really.
It is. Especially, with when it comes to city workers. Now, I'm sure with Judge Mathis being the age that he is, he knows that sometimes city workers have to block, but these city workers are not like unreasonable. They know if they see you trying to. I actually just came in contact with it when I was just in Charlotte. It was some city workers that were blocking the street. They saw me and my uncle were trying to get through. They kindly, they stopped what they were doing, moved the gates they had, the barriers they had, and let us pass through.
Right. All he had to do was ask nicely at first. I could see if he caused a problem with him asking, but he didn't even give the man a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now he's a judge. He knows that brandishing a firearm like that is illegal to threaten someone with a firearm, even if you don't point it at them. Um, that's big dummy.
And that part where he said, "I will bust a cap," that makes me think that this was very true because that sounds just like something his behind would say. Now, what
Mm,
really would have put the cherry on top if Judge Mathis would have called him a crackhead. Now, if he would have called him a crackhead, then there would have been no doubt in my mind that
he
this
said
happened
it.
just like.
He said it. Wow. Well, if it's true, he's stupid.
hmm Well, we know that much, honey. Especially, after him cheating on his wife for all them years, and then gonna call himself trying to, divorce it. But I want my wife back. Oh, now I got my wife back. It's like, child.
And
But
try to
I
go to
still
jail.
like him now.
Yeah, but that was unnecessary. Maybe he was having a bad day. Maybe it was an important thing he was going to. Whatever. But you don't treat people like that.
Mm-mm.
It's easy to block somebody's driveway in a neighborhood with a dump truck. It's not like it's on the highway. You could just be anywhere. It's possible. Yeah, he was blocking his driveway, trying to dump where he needed to dump, or waiting to dump, or whatever. That's not that's not smart.
hmm Well, before anybody have anything else to add before we move on to the next story that I'm sure y'all not gonna care about.
I'm sorry, but that dye job is crazy.
And one of his sons is family, so I don't know why his son didn't step in and be like, "Dad, we got to do, we gotta, you better than this. We need to. I'm gonna take you to my barber."
I mean, that looks like most black men of that age.
Exactly, and you see how they all be doing them at home kits with that Beijing, be looking a hot mess, be walking around here looking like California raisins.
I mean, he doesn't have the Steve Harvey fake line.
Okay, touche. You right. You right. You right when you right.
When I was getting my hair cut before I shaved completely, I used to hate that. Even when they did it with the kids, it's like, don't spray that shit on us, please.
Yeah. I don't like, cause like I'm one of those people, like after I get a haircut, I wash my hair because all that that leftover hair and stuff.
Yeah, I take a shower.
Yeah, and I don't see, like, if you spray that stuff on, it's like that's gonna get washed out in the shower and then kind of just be for naught. So
I don't want it on the kids' clothes either.
and that too. So like I said, and I promise you, I'm sure y'all don't care about this girl, but she was in the news, so I'm gonna talk about her. Y'all know that Miss Hawk Tua girl, that girl. Anyway, she's actually in under fire over some cryptocurrency. Now, I just want to preface this by saying when it comes to cryptocurrency, now I feel like I'm a reasonably intelligent person, but when it comes to cryptocurrency or like bitcoins and stuff like that, you can explain it to me, but it just does not. It's really hard for me to comprehend it.
That's because that shit don't make sense.
Okay, so it's not just me. Thank you. Because I'm like, I just don't get why people are investing all of their money, like their life savings, into this and expecting like like, what makes y'all think that this is a whatever? I'm not white, and no, nor do I have lots and lots of money, so this is not my battle. But anyway, Y'all see, I just shared a link from Unilad with the headline: Hawk Tour girl responds as people call for her to be jailed, with fans losing their life savings after buying her cryptocurrency.
Right.
So this young lady, her name is Haley Welsh. And she went viral talking about what makes a guy go crazy in bed. You got a hawk tool on it and spit on that thing, whatever, whatever. And after this, I just want to say that straight people can be really, really vanilla when it comes to their sex lives. But let me stay out of straight people business. Anyway, let's see. It says here she brought her own clotheslines with the word hawk tool brandished on cups and other items. But now she tested the cryptocurrency industry and debuted her own meme coin called Hawk with the dollar sign HAWK. The coin's
Mm-hmm.
value completely tanked within 20 minutes of its launch, plummeting from as much as 490 million to just 41 million, leaving fans out of pocket. It has left investors claiming that she carried out a rug pull, which is where creators of cryptocurrency sell off their stock, leading to prices crashing, and those who put money into it with coins worth next to nothing. Let's see. However, Welsh has denied these accusations and defended her and her team's actions during the live stream on Twitter. Hawkonomics team hasn't sold one token and not one KOL and was given one free token, she tweeted in a copy and pasted message. We tried to stop snipers as best as we could through the high fees in the start of the launch on what's that, Meteora AG. Fees have now been dropped, but readers have added their own context to the tweet claiming the team had sold. It read, the team, and they have team in quotes, and insiders have actually been selling their tokens since launch. A majority have never purchased anything and have only sold the tokens that they were given. Haley is lying and will likely have to talk to a judge about this. They ate that. They comment
Yeah,
ate
yeah,
that.
they did. They did.
Let's say one person took to Twitter to claim that they had bought $35,000 worth of the coin, but it to be worth just $2,000 10 minutes later.
Wow.
So this is the crux of the whole thing is like it's an unregulated market. So like she technically didn't do anything illegal, but you can't tell goofy people nothing. Go ahead, Will.
Willard, you have a comment?
Yeah. So the one thing that gets me every single time I read one of these articles or one of these things come into prevalence is the way that folks will perform Olympic style gymnastics as a means to not take accountability for their actions. Like, the thing is, these people willingly put their money into something that they know is not stable.
Right.
How is it this mayonnaise ass white girl? How is she responsible for what they decided to do? And I never thought I'd be defending a white girl, but it just never every single time it never makes sense to me as to why things like this even happen when they can just say, you know what, F it. I made a mistake. It was my coin. It didn't do well. I had an inclination that it wouldn't do well based upon the environment that it's in, and here we are. It still blows me, and not the good way.
Oh,
Th- this is one of those reasons why I'm really kind of not happy about Bitcoin succeeding, kind of in spite of, is now it's giving naysayers like a leg to stand on. See, we were right. Like, yeah, a broke clock is right twice a day, but like what you're tending to tell people is like this is a stable platform in which to invest in. Which this isn't investing. First of all, like in my opinion, let me put that in front. But like in my opinion, you can't have a commodity that isn't pegged to something for real. And until somebody can like accurately explain what it's pegged to, what the fundamentals are of it, you are literally just gambling your money away, which is fine. That is your right to do. But like to Will's point, when you lose, you lost. You put it all on red and you lost. Like
hmm
Do people really think it's stable? I mean, I don't.
Yeah,
Yes,
yes.
yes, girl. Honey, you go to one of them cryptos because I try to go in and listen to because I want, like I said, I want to get an understanding of it. And even after the things I have listened to, it's just still not getting into my head. But these people really believe that this is like one of the best things since sliced bread. I've heard a few, I listen anonymously, and those people, it's like, wow, like, am I missing something? Because I just don't see why these people would want to think that. But what? Go ahead, Will.
It's giving very much multi-level marketing at best.
It,
Oh,
it, if that, I would say multi-level marketing. At least you get some shitty vitamin at the end.
Some degreaser or something.
Right, like this, you're literally just like ass out. But like, just I don't think this just about crypto. Like I've seen it kind of propagate out to the wider investing market in general. So like GameStop is kind of a great example. I was out to dinner the other night, and a friend of mine, well, I say an associate of mine, was like, "Oh, the GameStop thing and the banks should be held accountable for what they did, how they ripped people off." I'm like, "Hold on, back up. What's up?" I'm like, how did the players involved rip them off, and who were they in your mind? And they went on to name Citadel. They went on to name Robinhood. While Robinhood is a shitty company, they didn't technically do anything wrong. They the market functioned as it should have. You had they had a certain amount of leverage in which they could provide out to the broader market. They ran out of that leverage. Citadel called in a leverage call, and they had to stop trading. Now everybody's like, "Oh no, they stopped trading because they were losing." It was like, no, that's not quite how it works. Like people's misunderstanding of like basic market fundamentals is why I'm like a little bit scared of the notion of democratizing kind of complex finance. Everybody's like, everybody should have the right to do this, and you shouldn't need a broker. I don't think that's true. People can get themselves in like way out over their skis, not knowing like basic market fundamentals, and we keep seeing it time and time again. And yet,
hmm, just now with this girl Hawk Tool. So, yep.
active trading is not for the weak, and we keep seeing evidence to why this is true.
Hey, after talking to y'all about this, I'm just like, I feel so relieved, especially after what Benji just put in the comments. She say, I feel like I'm not quick enough to know when to move and when to not, which is why I'm most likely not interested in the Bitcoin. Like when I tried to listen and learn, I was like, why don't I understand this stuff? And I'm like, girl, I'm with you on that. Like I know I'm smart, but this is just not. It's just not, I'm not comprehending it. And I guess
Well,
there's a reason for that. Thank you, Carl and Will and Chill for confirming it for me.
Yeah, I
well,
would say I
people
have a pretty above average understanding of like market making, and nobody can explain to me how Bitcoin makes sense or any other crypto. I'm sorry,
it's
Joe.
interesting that you can. There's whole computer farms that can just mine it out of thin air. Like it actually, they have to tell them to shut those things down when we're near a power drain in our hottest months. They talked about these big computer Bitcoin farming systems we have here in Texas, and
Hmm.
those things draw a lot of power. I don't
Yeah,
think people mine it at home so much like they used to do. It was a thing when everybody was mining Bitcoin. Now they have whole farms dedicated to doing it. And I think,
so Bitcoin is a air quote finite resource. There is a specific amount of Bitcoin, and that is why it's gotten harder to mine.
uh,
You do need big, basically data center sized
right.
rigs to mine at this point.
But just
Um,
crazy. Like, what? How? I mean, I don't want to go into it now. I'm just saying the fact that that's a thing, even about it.
yeah, we actually had a conversation about this not too long ago, where we were talking about not only not only is it like dangerous from a financial perspective, but then like the side effects to the environment are
Yeah.
just like I don't get how we are letting this propagate it. Well, I get it. Like any way that people can see to grift money off of poor people, they will.
It will
But
happen.
like this is gonna have bad side effects down the road, and I don't know how we aren't.
Well, I
It's
stand
okay.
corrected. I thought y'all weren't gonna care about this topic, and this just brought on a real nice conversation.
Well, we don't care about Hawk to a girl and this mess, but the subject itself is interesting.
Yep.
It
Queen, hey Libra
good for her
Queen.
for executing a good grift.
Yeah, yeah. I just know Hawk Tuah is not allowed around my man.
I'm gonna say like what you said earlier. It's gonna be mid at best. Wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah, I think she's on about minute what 8 of her 15 minutes now. She's running out of fame.
Yep.
You give her that far? I thought she was like 20 minutes over.
Okay.
Well, before we move on, Quinn, did you have something you wanted to add to this topic?
No. Oh, no. But her little sister friend, damn, I don't even know that girl name. The one that Cardi B's husband made fun of. The dumb girl. She be doing a little podcast. She
The
right
Oh,
one
behind her.
the one with Drake.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
The dry girl, yeah. Her
what's her
and
name? Bobby
Hatua,
something.
sisters in mid. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen her in a while. I think yeah, she wore out her 15 minutes. Bobby Altoff
Yeah.
Okay,
was
yeah.
her name. Yeah, she's been gone.
But she had money. Yeah, because she married her old husband. Well, not old, but she married her husband was like a
Oh,
decade older than her.
really?
She got two kids, I think.
I
Two.
don't know why
She
that girl
chose
got the
Plan B.
Redskins so
Okay.
much.
All right. Well,
Well,
good.
they're divorced, but I'm pretty sure she got a nice little,
Oh,
little situation.
well, that works too.
Well, one of Bill Cosby's homes in New York is actually being foreclosed. Oh, did I just share the wrong link? The hell is this?
We saw your beautiful face.
Yay! Thank you. There we go. All right, so y'all see I just shared on slide 4 this New York Post link,
Hmm.
and y'all see where it says Bill Cosby faces foreclosure on New York City townhome after allegedly defaulting on a $4.2 million loan.
I got 5 on it. Who wants to? Can we get it?
Okay, for real, girl.
What part of the city?
In Manhattan, it's on let me
Lenox
see.
Hill.
Like Harlem?
You
No,
asking
honey,
too many questions.
no, not in Harlem. Let me see. It said it here in the article. Let me see.
Where's Lenox Hill?
That's in Manhattan, but it's like on the east side of. They
Oh,
said,
Okay, yeah. All right.
where is it? Because it was in the article earlier. Da, 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 da. Okay, so the brownstone is located between Second and Third Avenues. It's on. They have the address in here too. Yep, 243 East 61st Street. So yeah, that's you got to have some money to live over in that area, honey. Like that area is not cheap and quiet as it's kept. Black people don't tend to not even go on that side. Black people tend to stay on the west side of that town.
well, I mean, a $4 million townhome. That's definitely rich.
That house actually looks familiar. Like, can like isn't that the house that they used?
From the Cosbys.
I
That's
Yeah,
don't
why I was like, I was
no,
gonna
I don't
say that.
think so.
it looks oddly similar.
Yeah, it does look like it because that's what I thought it was at first. But I don't think the Cosby House was in Manhattan. I think it was in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn wasn't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it says it allegedly owes millions on which he and his wife Camille purchased back in 1980. So and what they according to the court documents, they think that this was actually a second home for them, and they know that they Cosby's son, what was the son who got killed in L.A. back in 1997? Well, Ennis. Ennis was staying there at that home while he was going to Columbia. So, but
Mm.
yeah, hun, it says the financial giant alleges. Oh, wait, hold on. It says City Mortgage filed a lawsuit in Manhattan Supreme Court this week, claiming that the former sitcom star defaulted on a $4.2 million loan tied to the four-story residence. And it says the Cosby still owe 3.7 million in principal, with the rest racking up in interest and fees.
I
They must
mean,
be raising it in there.
legal battles are expensive, and he probably went through a good amount of money fighting all these this the big legal case, and then everybody came after him after that. So I'm pretty sure he's just bleeding money fighting legal cases.
And his
Hmm.
comedy show never took off because he was going to try to go back onto the circuit, and I guess that never happened. So,
Yeah, he was too toxic for that.
oh,
Mm-mm.
oh well.
Oh well.
Do we feel bad for Camille though?
No, Camille,
Not really.
damn baby, Camille is gone.
Okay. She passed?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Well, I didn't know that either. Well, if she was alive, I wouldn't feel sorry for her. I hate to say that, but especially with the way she stood by his side, honey. Like, no, mm-mm.
no, I don't mean she's dead. I'm saying they divorced.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Like you done killed a woman.
I was like, I didn't hear that she passed. But hey,
No,
I'll
no,
be paying
but
attention.
I mean, she stood by him a long time. It took her a while to divorce him after all those charges came out. But once he went to prison, yeah, she divorced him. But she's still
mm.
alive. She's still alive as far as I know.
Well, thank goodness. So now I don't feel as bad for saying what I just said. Yeah, I
Oh,
don't feel sorry for her.
But
okay.
is she still taking the fine? Because this says they jointly still own the property, right?
Well, her
Mm-hmm.
name may still be on it. I mean, they had when you got that kind of property, it's hard to separate, even if you do get divorced.
You don't even have to have that kind of property. I know people who can't get divorced because they
Mm-hmm.
are in
Got
a
too many
position to sell their
assets.
house.
Yeah, got to buy her out to get her name off. So if you can't even pay the bills, you know.
A good friend of mine is in that situation right now. In Virginia, you have to. It is almost assuredly so that you have to take that person's name off the lease, so to buy them out. So yeah, she's kind of stuck in a situation because
So you can't be divorced and have a joint property. You have to get the other person off.
yeah, most
Damn.
mortgages require you to take in Virginia, anyways, require you to take that other person off, buy them out, or come to
Oh,
some type of arrangement in the sale.
yeah.
And she
You
she
know,
was the breadwinner and couldn't afford to straight pay him out.
Mm.
and you know Virginia is for the lovers, so they be like, "Oh, you need to be separated for a year and all this other shit before you can even start divorce proceedings."
Yeah, that's
Which I
common
think is
practice.
crazy.
Common practice across most states at this point. But I will never, ever, ever live in a Commonwealth ever again. I've learned that in
Ooh,
all my moving.
damn. Car, you need to write a book for real.
You learned your lesson, Carl.
Kentucky, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts. I've lived in them all, and I won't do it. Don't do it, people.
Hmm.
And not be married, you mean?
I wouldn't live there for other reasons. They just tend to have like weird laws on the books that never go away. So like Virginia has this weird law. Quentin, you might know about this one. Um, for I think it's 3 or 4 grown women can't live in the same house because they considered it to be a brothel. So there's a law on the
I'm
books.
sorry.
They have a lot of little laws like that
Yeah.
people really just disregard unless you got somebody who like hates your guts and like really finna, you know what I'm saying?
So
Just trying to get you.
how I know about this is a friend of mine when they were in college, they had to add a male roommate because for some reason they got a notice somebody had pressed the issue.
Yeah,
Wow.
my mouth is on the floor right now. I cannot believe what I'm hearing. So,
We're
and
not
I'm
talking
sorry, just to
about
make sure
sex.
I'm
Right.
clear. So, four women, like they can't in Virginia or in the Commonwealth, they can't. Well, maybe I think y'all say Virginia.
Yeah,
If it's four women, they would consider that a brothel. So it's
yeah.
against the law. But oh my god, oh my god. Happy said no Golden Girls, no girl, no Golden Girls. If the Golden Girls was in Virginia, they would have called them girls whores.
Wow. Which I guess isn't a problem unless, like you say, somebody pushes it and then it is a law.
Yeah, it's some crazy laws. I don't even have words. I'm sorry. I can't believe it. I got to call my dad and be like, Dad, did you? Because he lives in Richmond. I'm like, Dad, have you ever heard of this? Well, I mean, he ain't not gonna be living with a house of women anyway. But
I was supposing that would exclude family members. I mean,
mm, I mean, this is
Yeah,
Virginia. We talking about it. Might not.
yeah. I just looked it up to make sure that I was reading it right, and it says, yeah, no more than three unrelated persons may live in a
unrelated.
single
Yeah.
family dwelling.
That is
Three
insane to
holes
me.
is the max.
Four hoes
So
bring your
it can
wallet.
still be holes, but you can't have more than three. Oh my God.
It's crazy.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, well, y'all, our next story. So y'all remember, back, I think this was like maybe a few weeks ago when I was talking about Teddy Mellencamp and
Yes.
yep, and how she was messing around with the horse training and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now she out here lying, talking about that she and her ex Edwin Arroyave are completely happy to be around each other despite divorce. Despite divorce, and I'm gonna tell you why I think she's lying about this. So I'm sharing a link from people.com, and y'all let's see. So where is she was talking to a podcast with some writer, and let me see. Da, 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 da. Get down to the quotes.
She's one of the Bravo people, right?
Uh-huh, yep.
Beverly Hills, I think.
Yep. And let's see, where is it? Where did she was
Y'all
talking
know
about?
I love all of Andy's messiness.
And he is very messy, but we love it. 'Cause she said, after a great deal of care and consideration, I've made a difficult decision to file for divorce. We know that already. My priority is my children and ensuring that every care is taken with their privacy and well-being throughout this new chapter. Where is it? Where is it? Because basically, she was saying that because of the kids, that they have an arrangement, but they don't. And so they have an arrangement out of it. The kids know that they're going through a separation and a divorce now. Even the youngest one, that's 4 years old. And what she said is that they have a respect for each other to where when each other stays in the house with the kids, the other one will stay somewhere else. And while he's at home, while Eddie's at home with Edwin's at home with the kids, Teddy will go like to Kyle Richards' house and spend the night or whatever while he was over there. So that's why, see, that to me, doing something like that don't sound like y'all are happy to be around one another.
Mm-mm.
It's like, girl.
Because they could easily be in the same house without, being lovers. Like, if he's being around his kids, if you were so happy, you wouldn't have to leave. Yeah, she's lying.
And here it is. I found it said the television personality claimed that there was no ill will between her and Oriave, adding they can both be there like for sporting events. It's not that we can't. We're completely happy to be around each other. Mellencamp explained that her way through the divorce is that she doesn't want to place blame. However, she admitted that there will be moments where she does feel angry, hurt, or upset, and that she's going through the highs and the lows, as if she's not the one who cheated, by the way. But anyway, she added that through this process she'll grieve, or maybe I'm going to fall back in love again. I don't know. Noted that she doesn't want to get into the place where she feels bitter.
Hmm.
Anyway, girl, whatever.
I don't know. I feel two ways about this one.
Well, tell us those two ways you feel about it. I would love to, because you the only one well, you and Chill, I think, are the only ones in here who have been married.
One of them I'm very close with. The other one, I think I would put out a statement that looked very similar to this. We don't dislike each other. We don't actively try to seek to be around one another, but for the kids' sake, we cool.
You're a mess. Happy said I was more curious that her dad is John Mellencamp and how he is dating Meg Ryan. Oop.
What's the age gap? That has to be like a 30
A
year age gap.
big one. Something age gap sound like something I would be into. So,
Well, I mean, I'm just like, why she even phrase it that way? And then she leaves when he's there. She didn't even have to say that. Like, why is she even
mhm.
saying it? Just say, he comes over and stays with the kids. And she didn't have to say, I leave or anything like that. Just, people talk too much.
Yep.
We didn't need to know all that.
Yes, shut the fuck up, please. Ugh, we don't care.
Okay, the
Don't
Melon.
care. Honestly, we do not care. Please shut the fuck up. Spark notes it. Send a text message. Like we no, please.
They're trying to keep their 15 minutes of fame. Well, try to stay relevant so they can get paid, I guess. I don't know.
Well, they failed. Next case.
The Mellencamp gap is not as big as I thought it was. Meg is like 60, 64, and Mellencamp's like 75. So it's only like a decade.
Okay, that ain't too bad.
I thought it was more closer to like 25 years.
And to that
So
I say, Jimmy crack corn.
Happy says Meg isn't that young. Remember how she was married to Dennis Quaid, had drug issues, then later fell out, had an affair with the Gladiator guy. You just reminded me of that. I totally forgot about that.
I still have uh, Sleepless in Seattle, Meg, in my head for some reason.
Oh, well, get her out your head because she ain't look like that in a very, very long time.
Oh, wow.
That girl she almost looked like Donatella Versace, honey. All that work she had done on her face.
I don't comment on women's appearances. I'm not
Good.
the.
As a heterosexual man, you should not. But as a homosexual, I have. Let me sorry. I ain't gonna say. Go ahead, Will.
Now, Auntie, you bring up a very interesting point because remember we had a conversation about Megan Trainor a couple of days ago. So I wonder if Meg Ryan actually provided the other Meg tips on how to get work done, and that was a fault.
Probably. Probably. I really wish people would leave their faces alone. I swear that the work does not look good. I think the only one that it did like who it worked out well for was people like maybe Nene Leakes. Her work looks good. I'm trying
Brad
to think of
Brad Pitt didn't do too bad.
okay, Brad Pitt. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Harry Styles didn't do bad.
Okay, you're right.
Gladys
Cup, how
Knight.
do you know this?
I sit online way too much, man.
You know what? I'm not gonna judge you because
I
publicly
ran
online.
I
You
ran
know,
across this thing the other day. It was like what stars are doing now? Because who was I looking at? I was looking at not Shaw. I can't think of her name. She played in your. She was like a Nickelodeon person. Young white. Well, that doesn't cut down enough. But hold on, I'll look it up. Hold on.
Are you talking about Amanda Bynes, maybe?
No, she's strung out. Who I'm thinking of. Give me one second.
Lindsay Lohan.
The other one.
Jamie
Lindsay
Lynn
Lohan.
Spears?
Who y'all said stuff at the same time. I couldn't hear.
I don't.
So
Okay, so describe
who was Lindsay's like nemesis?
Nemesis.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. Amanda Bynes. That's what Pappy said, but he said no, not her.
Hillary
Amanda
Duff
Bynes
or
is.
Hillary Duff.
Cheyenne
There we go.
Woodley.
Oh,
Yeah,
Benji said
Hillary
Hillary Duff.
got her face done, and I think she got her ass done too. But they said
Oh,
Hillary got her face done.
they
oh
said she
yes,
just
honey. And she looks good. That's work. That's money well spent. Hillary looks good.
But if they said she's been working out, but I'm like, hey, go for it.
What we're not gonna do is bring Julia Roberts into this, okay? She a whole different class of person. We not
Is
even
she?
finna speak on.
Yes,
Yeah,
she
she
is.
I
Don't
don't understand.
confuse.
I
Candace,
don't
Julia
understand
hello,
the love for this
Julia.
woman.
Listen, Julia
hello.
was giving bitches. Well, I shouldn't call them bitches, but she was giving women 10 years younger than her. She was my neighbor. Oh, I know that's right, Happy. But she was giving women way younger than her runs for their money with her looks before she ever had her face touched, in my opinion. So as she did a little something, something now, you know what I'm saying?
I'm
I
with
ain't finna hit
I'm with
on her.
Viola Davis on this one. I went to the same schools. I can act my ass off, and y'all go up for this white lady for some reason.
For a good reason. Don't come for Julia.
Listen, I love her. I love me a good Julia Roberts.
I,
Okay, Pretty
I've
Woman
gone
had me
back.
locked in.
I've gone back and looked at some roles, and I'm just like, I don't understand. Like
Listen,
Okay, so
her and Pretty Woman is actually like we would hate her in real life. Come on.
chill. Remove him. Remove
yes,
him.
you gotta go because why would you do that?
All right, y'all can have it. Whatever.
I
No.
think that you're entitled to your opinion when you're right. This is not one of
yeah,
those
you're not right.
times.
Yeah.
She mentioned Gladys Knight. Hold on, who mentioned Gladys Knight?
For
Oh yeah, I just saw Side by Side. She looks great too.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And what was that story about? Like, cause Julia and her dad, like they like the black community really goes up for them. Cause well, it was a story that I read about. I think her dad or something. Did he teach at an HBCU or something like that? Something. I know it's something with Julia. Okay, Happy says yes, and
y'all,
Julia ended up going to that school.
y'all also forget that Roberts is a homewrecker. She stole that cameraman straight up from his wife.
Listen, they ain't got nothing
Well,
to do with me. That's none of
okay.
my that they ain't got nothing to do with me. She stole that man. She stole that man from somebody that ain't got nothing to do with me. Sorry to that lady.
Yeah, we stand Julia over here, Carl. It's you can't ain't nothing you can say.
Not a damn thing.
All right,
Sorry.
I'll shut up.
Hmm.
Well, Ashley actually, while we were trying to figure out who Carl was talking about, Ashley actually mentioned Shailene Woodley, and I have a story about her. Let me
Who is
find it real.
Shailene Woodley?
So you probably remember her from that movie Divergent, and she played
Teen
in.
Baby
Oh yeah.
Mama.
Who?
Teen Baby Mama. The
Teen Baby
American
Mama.
Teenager story where she has a kid in high school. It was an
Oh
ABC
no.
family show.
I do know Divergent because listen that the soundtrack for that movie stay in rotation.
Dang. And my favorite thing she was in was Big Little Lies. I used to love her. I loved her character on that show. I even like that. And if y'all say that I said this in public, I'm gonna deny it. But I actually like Zoe Kravitz in that show.
Now I'm finna tweet it right now.
No, wait a minute, Auntie.
I think the thing I remember her from is the Snowden movie.
Okay,
the,
yep.
the what?
The Snowden movie. She played the girlfriend, Snowden's girlfriend in the Snowden movie with
Okay,
uh,
so
with
what's her
Courtney Love.
name again?
Shailene Woodley. And I don't know. Did y'all know that she was engaged to Aaron Rodgers?
What?
That made her anything I did like about her. I no longer do. That man,
And Carl, she agrees because she's out here talking, honey. She said, and y'all see, I just shared this link from People, and you see the headline. Shailene Woodley says she lost my soul in past toxic situation while opening up about Aaron Rodgers' split.
he is he is like top level MAGA in my opinion.
Hmm. And she says right here in quote, she said, I felt like I lost my soul, myself, my happiness, my joy. She said about the traumatic event without specifically linking it to the breakup. I really understood depression and anxiety and like complete soul detachment. Woodley added, I knew I was depressed when I looked at a tree and felt nothing. That was the lowest low of my life. I'm sorry. looked at a tree and felt nothing. And you know, if you see her in interviews, she's always been a little odd because she was talking about how she makes her own soap and makes her own toothpaste and stuff like that. She's a little odd, but I
Now
like
she a
her.
Nara Smith. But
Exactly.
no, the Fault in Our Stars. If y'all have never seen that, y'all should definitely watch that.
Oh, that's what happened. Just like the girl from the Stars movie. Yep.
Yeah, the Fault in Our Stars. Yeah, it was so cute, and I'm pretty sure I cried. Don't judge
I
me.
I actually haven't seen that. Isn't that like a gay film? Like a that features like
No,
oh.
she
About
she
a
was
terminal illness.
yeah, she had cancer, and she like fell in love with this boy, and so he basically helped her like come up with like a bucket list, and they did all these things. This how I learned how to be in two places at one time.
Wait a minute. Why
They
does that
all
sound like
die,
a walk to
Auntie.
remember?
You thinking about Moonlight? I think.
Moonlight.
Oh no, hun. What you know? What I was thinking about? I think it was Dear Evan Hansen or some mess like that. Some white gay movie.
Oh, never heard of it.
Oh, you're not tracking.
You know who I
I know
confuse with?
people go up for it, but I've never seen it.
You know who I tend to confuse Woodley with is the girl from the Hunger Games.
Jennifer.
How?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
kind of did
How?
too back in the day.
'cause
Being non
she's
being
also a mid
nondescript.
white girl.
Being
Yeah, but they
nondescript.
don't even got the same hair.
all,
Girl,
all white people look the same.
that's the criteria, Quinn.
All
That's why, at least, hey, that's
Okay,
enough for
girl.
me to know that they not the same person.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't do white people. Y'all know that.
All I'm saying is I can understand how you could have a
Now
conversation
I gotta
with
go see. What's
somebody.
that girl name? What's her name?
Jennifer
Jennifer
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Different, yeah, shit. Couldn't even think of a. See,
Yeah,
I'll be
but
knowing these people
but
say.
I pronounce her name incorrectly. Shailene.
Yep,
She
that's it.
I
Where's
she
she
be
from?
acting. She be acting. I like her.
Jennifer
Yeah,
Lawrence.
they
Jennifer
Jennifer
Lawrence.
Lawrence and her don't look nothing alike.
They play
And
the same.
Jennifer Lawrence is blonde now. What I know, Jennifer Lawrence is from only from Hunger Games, and she was a brunette in that movie. So that's all I know her from. If somebody show me something else, I'd be like, okay, cool. I'd have to look
What's
at her,
the
really
what's
look at
the
her in the face.
Philadelphia movie
That's the one that I was
Philadelphia.
with
thinking of. The
with
silver lining or
yeah,
something.
Silver Linings Playbook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Shailene. That's an interesting name.
isn't it?
Hmm.
Shailene Diane. You
I
better
think you had
bring
to
your
care
tail
about
over
Philly
here.
for silver lining though.
What'd you say?
I said I think you had to care about Philly to have seen silver lining and cared.
Well, yes. Absolutely. And that's fine with me. And did. And did.
Cup really. Who got the boot button?
Okay.
Scoot and boot booty.
Oh, y'all missed
Gotta go.
what they called me an asshole when I first came in.
We
I
said no
mean,
such
and
thing.
you're proving the title given. That's crazy.
Well, the next story I have for y'all, and chill, this is gonna be. I'm actually gonna send you a link, chill. I'm gonna put it in the chat, from where I want you to show the little clip. It's a clip from a Twitter video. But y'all will see this. I shared a link from Pink News where it talks about Drag Race Season 6 reunion delivers explosive fight between two of the kings, Plain Jane and Q Honey. And boy, did they have some words. Now, I'm actually not a fan of Plain Jane, like whatsoever. And in fact, I really hated that she made it to the top three. She is, baby, that is white mediocrity personified. Do you hear me?
Which one
Yeah.
is Q? Because I need to make sure you know what I'm saying.
So in this
Representing well
in the thumbnail, Q is the one that's on the right.
with the little wiggle on her face.
Yes, uh-huh.
Okay, we can. Okay, girl. Okay,
And
okay.
and Q was actually not a bad drag queen at all. Q was actually one of the ones that was to watch because when it comes to designing, Q used to sew and make a lot of her stuff, and it looked really good.
I know
But
that's right. Did you see the
they,
compilation that someone did for them
no.
with over Victoria Monet's "All Right"?
Oh yes, I did. Yes, I did for the new season.
Yeah, listen,
Yep.
they hit that. They did that.
Now, where am I supposed to find this link?
Oh, I'm about to put it in the chat. My bad. I
Oh,
was
in the
sitting there
chat.
running my mouth.
Is this not the drag race one?
It is, but it's a video clip. I want
Okay,
y'all to see.
I see it's something.
Anytime I try to share stuff, it don't. The audio always comes choppy and stuff. Oh, and while we waiting, we'll go ahead.
Feature request happy. We need
I'm
that.
surprised that they allowed this pseudo reunion to go on. If I remember correctly, what was the All Star season of All Winners? They were going to shoot a reunion, but I guess World of Wonder RuPaul kind of shot it down. You remember that, Auntie?
Yep. Hmm.
So it's like it's very unfortunate, I guess, considering like the girls that have been on the show previously, they have additional context and experience that would essentially highlight some of the real tea that goes on behind the scenes as opposed to girls who've only been on there for one season or their first season, excuse me. Hopefully that changes in the future because we want to hear we want to hear about it all.
Yes. Yes, indeed. The a problem that a lot of people had with Q is that like you usually see her like saying and she was pretty much they call her a cultural appropriator basically they said that she likes to talk using AAVE and stuff like that and I saw it but I mean that this it didn't make me dislike her but I did kind of see what people were talking about
No
but it's just a
shade,
Auntie.
fierce drag queen.
but Plain Jane gives me very much Gigi Gorgeous, and Q gives me very much Violet Chachki. That's
Excuse
why
me
I
for
stopped
one
watching.
moment.
Hmm.
You never. I told you to let me practice on sharing these links. You never showed me how to do it.
Oh my bad. So
And I'm gonna
where you
send you a link. Okay.
I'm sorry.
And
Because when you hit Jumbotron, you'll see the option that says screen,
I hit Jumbotron. Okay.
and screen should be like the third tab.
Okay.
And then from there, you should see share my screen. And then after you hit that, it'll ask you like it should ask you which screen you want to share.
Okay. Share my. It says share my camera.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I forgot you were on your
iPad.
Yep.
It won't let you do it on the iPad.
Nope. That's what because that you remember when I tried to do it with my iPhone earlier, it was only pulling up the camera and not the web page I wanted. Yep. Ah well. Let me say I want. I don't want because I feel like if I do try it. Yep, that's what happens. That mobile device share screen will use your back camera. Yep, we learned that this morning, girl. Will or Cup, would any of you mind? Are any of you using your computers?
Yeah,
I
what's up?
am.
Could one of you try to share your screen and play that link? Well, put the
Yeah,
link up first and then share it.
this is the one you put in chat.
Yes,
Yes.
All right.
Oh wow.
because these girls got heated, honey. I was like, oh, this is a good one.
I don't think that link is working.
Let me see.
I hit the link and I went to like a
It's deading for
Twitter
me.
video.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
strip the rest of this crap out.
it's supposed to be.
Okay, here I got it.
And thank you everybody for your patience while we navigate through this wonderful site. Oop! Did it kick him out?
It took me out too. I had to come back.
Damn.
No, I had to give permission for the browser to.
Okay. I thought you tried to share and it kicked your ass out. I was gonna say, dang happy.
Ah,
Where's the audio, baby?
Cup, you may have to click the little audio icon from the video.
you can't see it or you can't hear it.
Can't hear it.
Okay. How do you pass through audio? Happy.
On the Twitter video you should see it's usually on the bottom right, that icon. It's usually muted by default.
I can hear it.
Yeah, you can hear it?
Yeah.
Oh, then
Is there a way
he-
to pass audio to the chat mosa?
yeah, it's supposed to come on automatically. Your permission does not allow full screen. Send me the link. Okay. Let me send Happy the link.
It's in the chat.
How do I get out of this?
Oh, go to that the other web page with the Twitter video and just hit stop sharing. Should be. Mm-hmm.
That's happy. Okay, good.
Hello, what's the link?
A car put it in the chat.
So Carl, when you selected entire screen, it
You
doesn't
have to do it to just the browser tab.
Plain Jane. Setter Aside wants to
Okay.
know if you had to rate your sister's looks today, who would come out on top and who would you put in the bottom?
Can we finish our drinks before she talks?
Our House of Love cocktails.
If I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't paying attention. There's not much to look at. But I guess she says that because she was looking in the mirror.
Look at this right now, babe.
Don't touch me.
That's
silicone,
How you
baby.
look,
I
babe.
was just accosted by a man.
Girl, look how you look. Turn around for the
Bitch,
audience.
fix your fucking mug,
Fix
bitch.
your
mug, hoe.
breastplate.
I see your fucking 5 o'clock shadow, bitch.
And you are a shadow.
Stay
You are a
seated.
shadow on this season.
Stay seated.
Getting you are a shadow on this season.
Baby, Dracon booth line numbers don't lie, baby.
And
The lines don't
and baby,
lie.
who's lining up for you?
Stay-
And who's lining up for you?
Stay seated, bitch.
Well,
Anyways, cue last. Cue the fuck last.
Girl,
not even
please.
because the outfit is shit, because the mug is shit.
Girl,
Anyways.
your eyebrows were oatmeal on the show.
You want to put your fucking hands on me, bitch?
Thank you so much, Happy. That thing had me cracking up, honey. She was like, and Q laughs not just because of her outfit, but because of that mug, bitch. And she knows she's just talking because Q's mug was like one of the best ones on that show.
The girls
Ooh.
are fighting.
The girls are fighting. Will gave us a tomato. I don't think Will likes Q's mug. Well, Happy, for this next story, I'm gonna need for you to share another video clip. Not this one, not the one I'm about to share in the jumbotron, but I'll put the Instagram link in the chat. But Real Housewives of Atlanta alumni Marlo Hampton, whom I adore. I know she is good and messy, but I love this woman so much. She is a hot mess. And she says that Portia Williams married Simon for his money. And
Oh,
she did nothing but say the quiet part out loud because we were all thinking it.
yeah, I didn't know that.
And she was messy. But Portia was pretty much saying that in a clip for the new season of Love and Hip not Love and Hip Hop for Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was saying how because she and Simon both went in 50-50 on that house, Simon pretty much shut down that she can't film in the house. So it's
Mm.
making it hard for Portia to film and stuff like that.
Oh,
And do you see there it is, that Instagram clip happen?
Knew Simon and his ex-wife Marsha. That's his two boys' mother. They were my neighbors. Simon drove a Rolls Royce back then. Simon has always been that man. Me and him in our community was the people, okay?
Okay.
So he owned the bottle bar. I knew him before his ex.
So why
I
you
knew
didn't like him down, sis?
I didn't want him.
You
He
better
was not
say
my
that.
type.
You better say Simon is
No,
not
he
your
wasn't my
type.
type, but he was like a
Bye,
brother.
Simon.
And his wife was super sweet. Marsha's
Oh,
beautiful.
he was
She's
married at
tall.
the time.
Yes.
Oh,
He
okay.
was super tight and beautiful.
Okay.
So one thing I'm gonna say, and this is just me, and y'all can kill me because y'all love Portia.
These are our
I
real close
don't
friends.
give a
They're not gonna
damn.
kill you.
This is the truth. Y'all know Portia married that man for his money. She was not like, oh, he's so fine. I just get turned on. Oh, Lord, I just want to build a future with him. Now, if he was driving the bus, would Portia have married that man? No. And
No.
Simon, you got to be a little
G
smart
about
too,
it,
and
yeah.
You know Portia married you for your money.
Oh, Will has his hand up. Go ahead, Will.
My issue with Marlo is that she's proven time and time again not to be a girl's girl. How many times has she gone online and spouted so many disparaging things about her friends slash castmates or now former castmates? And it's very off putting. In addition to that, if you look at Portia's history, like Simon actually falls in line to her quote unquote type. So, I mean, aesthetically, I understand what Marlo is trying to say. However, we can't erase history. So we got what wasn't in Cordell,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got her baby daddy, and then you got Simon. They all share a through line when it comes to aesthetics. So in
Yeah, they
addition to
look the
that,
same, but they
my
all got money.
hold
Come
on
on,
one
be
second,
real.
1 second. And my thing with Marlo is that she is the pot calling the kettle black because as history has shown, she's been operating in a similar manner as Portia. However, she hasn't had the ability to follow through with the entire bit when it comes to engagement and getting married. So yeah, it's too much.
But hasn't Marlo been honest about it? She's like, yeah, I'm with that nigga for money.
No,
Yeah.
she's denied it quite a few times actually.
The at least the Marlo, I don't watch the show with any regularity, but early Marlo was she didn't tell about who the hell she was dating, and then when she was like, I was with him for because he pays the bills. That's the Marlo I remember, anyways.
Yeah, the Marlo Marlo has a history of not being a real bitch and standing on what she says and stuff like that. We kind of learned that early on, in their early season of how well, you remember when she told Sheree, like, go hang around them faggots. That's why you can't get a man and stuff like that. And then when Sheree brought Miss Lawrence to confront her about saying she lied to Miss Lawrence's face, said, I didn't say anything like that. And then on the reunion, she was like, I'm a work in progress. So yeah, Will on to something. She's not. I still like the girl. I think I found her to be very entertaining until that. Right up until they gave her a peach and made her a regular. She gave us nothing, honey. I was really expecting Marlo to come on and bring it. I think she gave us nothing when she got a peach.
You
And
know,
that's probably
Auntie.
why she only had it for one season.
So Auntie, I have to disagree with you. She did give us something, but she gave us season 3 and season 13, and those two just didn't equate. That's why it
Touche.
didn't. It really didn't. It wasn't a good match at all. Like they decided to provide her the opportunity to be a full time cast member entirely too late. So I think she would have been a great addition if we look back at seasons. I would say between seasons 4 and 7. If they were to introduce her as a full time cast member during that time, she would have been perfect. But
Yeah.
anything after that, it just read on screen as very stale, especially to like long term fans like myself. So
Now I'm about to do a poll for this next. So before we start this next story, I'm about to conduct a poll, and y'all just answer. Let me see. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, somehow my darn screen I got into full screen mode. I don't know, but I'll worry about that later. Let's see. And I think I know how you all might vote, but I just want to take a poll before we start.
What we voting on?
Oh, pulling it right up. So if y'all can do me a favor and answer this poll, please. And for the listeners, I'm asking them, have they ever heard a rumor about Busta Rhymes being gay or bi? And type in your answer, and then hit submit response on the bottom right.
Oh, we need game night. What's up?
So, okay. So the reason I brought that up, and y'all see how, just like I suspected, like everybody, I feel like, because this is a rumor that I personally have heard like since the '90s. People have been saying this. So, there was a bodyguard who was on a I don't know if he was on Clubhouse or what, but he was y'all remember Whack 100, like a music manager who is known for being very unfiltered. So I just shared a link, and you see how it said Whack 100 confronts bodyguard who claims Busta Rhymes is gay. And I'm like, now with Whack 100 being in the industry for as long as he has been, I know this is not new information to him. So the way that he was acting was and happy. I'm about to put another link in the this is going to be for Instagram. If you don't mind sharing your screen for this one, please. Thank you, my love.
Yeah,
But Wack did
anytime
not appreciate that.
anytime a dude is too much on that, being too loud about being anti-gay, that to me is a huge ass red flag indicator.
Oh, and Happy, can you unmute it?
Can you guys
No,
sorry.
Want you to tell me that, and we gonna deal with this, bro. You have what you saying, homie?
Deal with it how? What's your number?
Oh, nigga, hey, listen, I'm asking you a question. Are you
hold on,
telling me my brother is gay, nigga? I
Check out
just a
this
simple
restaurant.
question. Yes or no, and I'm gonna make sure you stand on it in real life. Are you telling me Busta Rhymes is gay?
Lou, didn't you put me?
No. Are you saying
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes is gay, nigga? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Are you saying that? I want to hear you say that, bro, and we gonna make you stand on that for real.
So tell me where you want me to come stand at, and I'll come stand there right
I
now.
want you to just say it. All you gotta do is say it.
Where are you at?
Say it.
Where is you at?
I want you to say it now.
Let's link up in person and we can
Hey, bro, we can do that too, but I want to hear you say it.
I seen him. Where you at? You still on?
Right here, bro.
Did you watch the interview?
Bro, are you saying Busta Rhymes is gay? That's a brother to me. I know his children, my nigga. I know his children. This ain't no troll shit. Hey, look, bro, I'm asking you a question.
I don't troll. I don't do no trolling. And
Bro,
everything
I
I
want to
stand
hear you say it. Say it. I want to hear you say it. Just say it. Hey, bro, I promise you we're going to deal with you. I promise you. Just say it. Are you saying, bro, are you saying Busta Rhymes is gay? Is that what you saying? I want to hear you say that.
Did you watch the interview?
Yo, R&B, get this nigga off my stage.
You scared.
No, nigga, you scared to say it. Because if you say it, you're going to stand on it.
Thank you, Happy. Oh, so we have some hands. So I think I saw Will's hand go up first.
One thing that's really disappointing about the whole thing is that if folks are going to say disparaging things or things that, disparaging things like that about another individual, not saying that gay is a bad thing whatsoever, of course. It's like, I wish they would have the level of delusion that Jaguar Wright has, and that they can stand on whatever it is that they are saying, even if it is false. Because it's unfortunate that people can hide. Well, naturally, we all operate, and that people are bold and brazen to the point of whatever. But they're bold in their statements about things until they're actually confronted about them, and then once they realize, oh shit, I really don't have any real factual evidence that what I'm saying is true, and I could essentially be there's like legal repercussions in terms of defamation if I'm excuse me, if I'm ever confronted about what I said in that capacity, that I would essentially lose. So my thing is, like, if they don't have the necessary evidence, it is so easy just to shut the entire fuck up. And that is my thing for today. Shut the fuck up.
One more time for the people in the back.
Shut the entire fuck up.
I agree, Will. Hey, go ahead, Queen.
Hello, room. I would also like to say that on the side of the person who is questioning and the person with the platform in the audience, as someone who is trying to quote unquote protect their friend, I needed him to shut the fuck up, because if you but clearly you think there's some legitimacy in the rumor if you're giving this person a platform. So if you think there's some legitimacy, or if you think or you heard some shit, then it shouldn't be brought online if you're trying to protect your friend. Because why would you do that? Why would you allow someone to make that claim and you're repetitively asking them to essentially out your friend on a platform that there's whoever your fan base is or following base or whatever they want to call it. I think that's fucking lame, and it shouldn't fucking matter. Even though, of course, within our community, everybody want to be in everybody's fucking business, which is, I think, is the dumbest shit ever. But at the same time, especially as Black men, we already have so many eyes on our community all the time, and we don't know how to gatekeep nothing. And from just out of just respect for Busta Rhymes, like, take that shouldn't even be a topic of conversation. That should be shut down. Don't address it. Like, hey, this happened, don't address it. Be on your Beyonce, be on your fucking Jay-Z. Baby, we got lawyers for that. We got people who get paid to do that. I don't need you to protect me out in public and speak on me. Like, we heard it. We got it handled. We got our legal team to deal with it. That's it. That's all.
Yeah,
I
and you
think
know
this
what?
all kind of stems back to at least within our community, the toxic masculinity deal. Because like being called and having that is like probably one of the most disparaging things you could say to in many males' minds. So I agree with you for the most part, but I do think like being called that to most guys is probably one of the most offensive things that one can be called. And if it's your guy out there being called that, you probably want to say something out loud. But I don't know. To me, that's the bigger offense, is that we get so in our feelings about somebody saying that you're gay. Like, so what? Like, my opinion is, unless you pay my bills, I don't really give a fuck what you have to say about me. Unless
Correct.
I say it, like, who cares?
Because okay, so my thing is also too is I understand that like you sometimes want your friends to step up for you or speak up for you or whatever or show loyalty or whatever they want to fucking say, but at the same time like you're making something that should be in the rumor mill, that should be whatever, it's been like under the table for so long, you're making it a public antic that shouldn't even be a thing, and to me it makes it worse, right? Because you're bringing up old shit that you saw however long ago. It's been this rumor or whatever. If Busta is that way and he doesn't want the world to know, that's nobody's fucking business. If he's not that way and people just made up shit for them to just fucking have something to talk about because they ain't got no business and not getting no money, that should not be something to talk about. Whether or not you're my friend or not, right? I'd be quick to tell somebody. I'm a very fucking private person. Unless I said it out my mouth myself, you don't need to speak up for me because again, if it's that serious, baby, I got money to go to a lawyer and let them know, hey, this is getting out of hand. You give clout or whatever they want to call it to people when you give them energy and a platform to sit there and talk shit and just repetitively say the same shit. Well, I could come and meet you and tell you in person. Like, no.
I have more on that, but go ahead, Will.
Yeah, cool. Because this scary ass know that he was in deep shit. Like, but I actually did have a question for the room. So I did have a thought. Like, I've actually never come across any instances where Busta Rhymes himself has said or done anything that could be identified as homophobic, not necessarily about himself, but in general.
Oh, well, yeah, it's out there. I'll
Oh, it
send it to
is.
you.
I was about to
Mm-hmm.
say, don't think that that's true. I think he's been on, particularly as it pertains to being Caribbean or Jamaican specifically.
Mm-hmm.
He said some pretty off the wall shit.
Gotcha. Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. So that was the only question I had. Okay, that brings a lot more context in regards to his friend's reaction to the whole allegation.
Yep.
But I feel like, so what I was going to say in response to Quinn is, I feel like this wouldn't necessarily be an out of pocket response for even Busta Rhymes himself. Like, I think if confronted in a, say, like a podcast situation with somebody calling him that, I think he would get loud and puffy in this same way.
But the difference is that it would be okay for him because it's his story to tell. It's
Oh,
his truth, right?
I'm not
To
saying that.
deny or verify, right? But a third party, friend or not, family or not, or whatever or not, like you shouldn't be sitting here going back and forth with a goofy because I like people who don't know either one of them, right? I don't really know who Whack 100 is. I know him for his content being shitty. Um, but I don't know him for real, and I don't know the bodyguard, and they both look fucking dumb. They sound dumb going back and forth talking about, well, I done seen some shit and I could pull up on you. Well, say it right here, my nigga. Like you both look dumb. So why
But
even have that kind of conversation if you're not willing to, if one side is not willing to actually confirm what they're trying to say, or if one is just not going to shut the fuck up about it, because I get that you're again trying to defend your friend, but let your friend handle that.
yeah, I think the bigger issue in my head just ends up being like, why is this the worst thing that someone could say about you? Like, to me,
Child, you know why?
that's the goofiest behavior in the world.
But that's on y'all as men though. That's on y'all as men to handle that as a community of people, to address that and to make that not a thing anymore.
I mean, I can only do so much, and anybody who knows me has known I could care less what anybody has to say. If I want to hang with the girls, I'm going to hang with the girls. like
Yep.
you can only do your part, and I think this is a wider systemic issue within the Black community that I
Mm-hmm.
hope goes away at some fucking point, because it is not
It
fucking
won't. No,
useful
you
at
know,
all.
hun, it's not gonna go. As much as I would love for it to go away, it won't be going away anytime soon. You know, toxic masculinity has us in a choke hold, honey.
Yeah.
Never gonna go away. In the black community, please.
It's a little crazy, particularly because we've become far less religious. Like, I don't understand why. I don't know. We all know
Because
that.
y'all platform people like Whack 100. Y'all
Ooh.
platform people like
I don't even know who this man
academics.
is. So.
Y'all platform people like Drake. Y'all platform people who are dumb.
Joe Budden.
Who are dumb.
It is
Who
not the
don't have.
religious thing that's making them like that, though. That's the key, Carl.
Say that
It's not
again.
religion. It's not religion that's making them
I
like.
think
Yeah,
that
it,
was
it
a
has
part of it
a
once
hand
upon a
in it.
time.
It has a hand, but there are some, like you said, there are so many people that are truly not religious yet still adhere to that same thing.
But you got to look at like where the initial parts of it came from. So like,
It comes
if I
from
look,
fragile masculinity. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not a direct. To me, it's not a direct correlation.
you don't think so?
No,
Okay, I could be wrong, but if I look like
direct. No, not direct. No.
even through my
Will
own
has his hand
family.
up.
And I
Okay.
was gonna let them finish before I said what I had to say.
Go ahead, Will.
I was just gonna say it is beyond me how someone can build an audience where they themselves identify themselves as whack. And what delusional world do we live in that people will tune into someone who essentially says that they suck themselves and they still have an audience in which people listen to them? That is beyond me. What is society right now?
Oh, okay. So, because when I look at his name, not to defend him or anything, but I just take it as like a whack, as in I'm a whack you in the head, not like whack with an H, like I'm whack and I'm corny. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I took his name.
Either way,
Either way, touche. Either way, honey.
I
Well,
mean,
you
we let a orange
surprisingly, do
motherfucker
y'all
run our
know who?
country. We let an orange
Oh, I'm
motherfucker
sorry.
run our country. This is the smallest issue we have as a society.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Well, someone who's not afraid of Whack 100 is oddly Ray J of all people.
Oh Jesus.
period. Y'all know what I said. They said about Ray J.
Child, and it's looking like this link is not previewing. Let me try again. Okay, so yeah, it's not previewing. So I'm gonna put this link in the chat because pretty much Whack 100 claimed that he heard that Ti and Tiny were swingers, and Ti approached Ray J and was like, "Hey, you knock my wife, I'll knock your wife." You know what I mean?
You see how the hypocrisy is? You finna check somebody about talking about your friend, but then you know what I'm saying? Gonna talk about the rumor that somebody said about you? Oh, about some other
Hmm.
people? That's crazy.
Who is Ray J married to?
Princess. Or
Princess.
Oh, okay.
are they divorced? They still married?
I think they still married. I think they just separated for now, but I don't think they
Oh,
got divorced.
oh, okay.
But
She's
so this
beautiful.
story, during a conversation on Clubhouse, the controversial music manager, Wet 100, began by saying, "We know Ti and Tiny be in some kind of lifestyle. They had charges brought up, and I believe they beat those charges, but the rumor mill always circulates." Wack then says to Ray J, who is his client, "Do you remember that conversation?" He said, "I want you to hit my bitch. You remember that, bro? Let's party. You hit my girl and I hit yours." Ray J denied the allegation that he engaged in wife swapping with Ti and admonished Wack 100 for bringing it up. "My mama managed Tiny, and this is not okay, Wack. This is not appropriate. You got to tone down the disrespect for women, for Ti, for Tiny." Ray J did not like that.
I missed the old Ti.
And he's so real for that.
He is. He ate that one little thing. He not that bitch or nothing, but
Mm-hmm.
he did eat that one little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Benji. This story is for you, boo. This next story I have, girl, because I'm sure you know who these, because you actually watched Selling Sunset. I didn't watch. I've only
Oh,
heard of
yeah.
it. Well, Chelsea Honey,
What?
her ex Jeff claims that she was writing unauthorized checks. So they going through a messy divorce.
Oh,
Oh, did that not preview either? Let me put the link in the chat.
um, I don't like that man.
I don't either. And the way he running his mouth, honey. But I mean, the girl was writing fraudulent checks. So
Well, she wouldn't have. Okay, she
And he
probably
says
would.
he claims that she is doing this to delay tactics in their divorce proceedings or whatever. It says as Chelsea is aware that these accounts were closed due to the fact that she was writing unauthorized checks after the date of separation and her filing of divorce petition against this account, which was my personal account. Therefore, there is no such account to name her as the beneficiary of. Let's see.
I
So
with
he.
these types of things. Go ahead.
So that means he closed the account and then she used it.
No. Uh-uh. So what happened was, let me see. It says per documents obtained by U.S. Weekly, she requested protection that she has no rights to. Let's see, requesting protection that she has no rights to. She's basically trying to be named as the sole beneficiary of certain accounts, but those accounts are closed, and she knows those accounts are closed, but she's still doing that as an attempt to delay the divorce in courts. You see what I'm saying?
I don't know if I believe.
So divorces are really, really hard in like timing and what people have access to. Cause like you have to turn over pretty much like all of your, they can ask for a broad range of shit, whether it matters to the divorce or not. And from the outside, things can look very different from what your actual intention was, not to mention what your lawyer will tell you to do. There are things where you're like, oh, I don't really give a shit about that, but they'll be like, no, do it anyways. So I don't know that I would put this off on like anybody being malicious as much as I would be like, yeah, it very well may be a stall tactic that her lawyers intended for her to actually do. Plus, we don't know, like to Benji's point, whether or not accounts were closed with the intent to lock her out of funds or accounts were frozen to lock up money to where she didn't have money to fight out the case. Divorces are messy and usually people are not at their best when going through one.
Oh, she get a big check cause yeah, he wasn't over the dude no way. But they told her that.
And Will asked a good question. Is she Nigerian, honey? I
She
don't.
I think she is Nigerian.
Damn.
So it
That's
wasn't.
fucked up, Will.
Let me clarify. Let me clarify. Not in regards to what
No,
she's accused
no,
of.
not in regards to that, but I mean,
Okay, because I was looking at the pictures of like her vibrant style and the ornamentation of her rings and her makeup and how pulled up she is. Like it's very reminiscent of a Nigerian woman of high society. So that's why I asked.
I think she
It,
has.
it felt like you were calling her a Nigerian scammer. I'm personally.
That's what I thought too.
No, I after I hit send, I was like, wait a minute. I think I need to clarify this because this could be taken in so many different directions I do not intend. So let me clarify.
Wait, where? Who the people? Oh, this the link. Hold on.
I believe you.
She's cute though.
She is
Yeah, she's
gorgeous.
absolutely gorgeous. He is
I don't
stunning.
trust black women who marry white men though. So that's my.
Wait. Oh, well, I'm not in that because I'm not in that situation. But I like Chelsea.
No, there's something to that. I have to agree with Carl. I'm not gonna go too much into detail because this is a recorded line, but based upon personal experience, there is definitely merit to what he just shared, and I'll just say that.
Is she Nigerian? Did somebody look it up?
What's her name?
Chelsea Laconzi.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
We hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah, now.
And while Carl is looking to confirm if she's Nigerian or not, I want to share this story for because I know people, somebody like Happy would appreciate this story.
Yeah, she's British Nigerian.
Ah.
I knew it, man.
So Tori Spelling Happy says that she has been in fight or flight mode since her separation from Dean. This po baby. I'm so glad that her and Dean are separated. I swear he been playing in this woman's face for years on years. Done left her with 5 kids. She now a single mom got to take care of them 5 kids because all Dean and his community penis. wanted
Did
to
her
just keep.
daddy leave her any money?
Well, wasn't there something to that? Didn't
Yeah,
Happy
you know
correct me
they
if I'm wrong, but I think they had like her and mom had a really nasty relationship, and
wasn't she disinherited at one
Yeah,
point?
that's
I
what I was
believe
trying to
so.
think about. Is like to me, I feel
Happy
like
says she's back. Happy is back. Happy is back.
I was trying to think of like I was gonna say I feel like every man that is in her life has played in her face in some kind of way. I'd be feeling bad for her.
Damn, Cup.
Well, he's right, but Dean did the most playing, and it was just it was egregious.
Cause
And
she
then,
was
Tori has a large gay follow. Well, excuse me, a large white gay following, and them white gays have been saying, "Girl, you need to leave this man, kick him to the curb." They have been saying that for years.
but yeah, she was a daddy's girl, and I feel like she didn't get like he was rich, and she didn't get much.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
went through a
because
lot.
she was they had gotten into it and she was apparently disinherited. Is what I remember. But I could be remembering wrong.
She another one
Oh,
who messed her face up though.
ooh, Jesus.
Why
No,
these kids look
what
like
that
that?
work?
Lori? Oh yeah, she did.
I don't be talking about
She
people
just
kids.
needed a
These
little
kids.
bit of, just a. But she went too far.
She did. But I mean, when you saw her original face, I mean, it really went there. Don't do that. That's not
Ooh.
nice.
No, she wasn't. She had a distinct, right? She had a distinct face.
A
Very
I
distinct
don't
is
feel
distinct.
like she
very
really
it's
did
very
work. You know what I mean?
factual.
Like I feel like she
That
didn't
is
really do
very
work.
factual. A very distinct face.
I don't feel like she needed work. She had some of the cheekbones people be getting with the plastic surgery and stuff. So I don't know why she messed with that part, but yeah.
So Tori, she was actually in doing a live. Now I don't know why she would do this because I think therapy should be like very very private. But another side of me actually is glad that she's doing this because you just think about the number of women that also feel the same way. But she had a on her podcast Misspelling. She had a recorded therapist session with psychotherapist Dr. Hilary Goldsher. And let's see, when Gosher talked about the process of sitting in our messy feelings, Spelling said that makes sense. But on the other hand, what happens when you're in constant fight or flight mode? All the time, people are like, oh my God, you've been in therapy. Have you been in therapy since the divorce? And now you're a single mom and there's so much to talk about. I'm like, honestly, I haven't had a chance. And she has 5 kids that range from the kids' ages are 17, 16, 13, 12, and 7, with 7 being the youngest. Tori continued, we all look at social media and it looks great out here. That's not what's really going on. We're putting our best foot forward on social media. What lies behind is that all the stuff that our only key circle knows about if we let them in. So when I say fight or flight, and it's hard for me, I'm so conditioned in this lifetime to be labeled words like wealthy, entitled, Hollywood, nepotism, and it just goes on and on that I'm very quick to say my situation is not as bad as everybody else's. I'm so getting I'm so used to getting such an outwardly harsh response to my life no matter what. So and it's like and I'm not saying poor me. Here I am defending myself again, but I feel like since my soon to be ex-husband and I separated, it's been fight or flight. It's been constant with the 5 kids, and whether it's emotionally, physically, financially, we've just been going.
I feel like that 90210 cast might be a little on the curse side because, like, is anybody doing okay? Jenny Garth, I don't think was doing all that great. Shannon, Jason, Luke's dead.
Yeah.
Ian might be the only one that isn't in
Well,
some shit.
Brian Austin Green seems to be doing okay,
Who
right?
was
I
he?
think.
Which one was he?
I don't know. I forgot his character on the show, but that was the one that was married to Megan Fox
Oh,
for
okay.
for a brief.
I think he might have came later on. I was thinking about kind of like the
Oh,
originals.
the core people.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I didn't. I didn't watch. What I remember is like I had an older cousin who like watched religiously. I was somewhat young when that show was on, like in prime
Hmm.
time.
You and me both. It just seemed like too adult for me to be what that and Melrose Place because I think Melrose Place used to come on right after. And I'm like, I can't watch this. They fucking on primetime TV. I should not be watching this at 5 years old. Mm-mm. And the last story I have for y'all. So, do any of you ever use any of those sports apps like FanDuel or DraftKings or any of those?
I don't think we got no gamblers in here.
No, we can't do that here, but I've heard of them.
Okay, yeah, and Benji, it's funny you say that because just in I think Carolina this year just started doing it, but we weren't able to do it either before this year.
Yeah, I think a lot of states have just legalized the gaming apps. I don't know if
Well,
DC has, but I know you can play in Maryland. You can go play in Maryland.
a woman in New Jersey, honey, she is suing DraftKings. Now, this is not celebrity news, but this was so juicy, I had to tell y'all about it. And y'all see, I just shared a link from Independent. Y'all see the headline that says DraftKings sued after father of two gambles away $1 million of his family's money. So her name
How
is
we do DraftKings on this is this goes back to kind of Will's point way earlier. Is like we keep allowing these platforms or trying to put responsibility onto these platforms and abdicating people of their responsibility. Like gambling addiction is an addiction, but I don't know that it's on any platform to.
Okay, yep, and I hear you. However, after reading this, because it's like, okay, so when you know that somebody has a gambling addiction and then you do, it's almost like giving an alcohol. You know somebody's an alcoholic, but you still hand them a drink. It's kind of, and DraftKings was out here handing the drinks. So I'm gonna say, so the latest name was Lisa D'Alessandro. Says her husband funded his habit by maxing out her credit cards and draining their young children's saving accounts, which was funded entirely by gifts they had gotten for Christmas, their birthdays, and their baptisms, according to the federal lawsuit filed today. And it says Lisa accuses the online sports book for having actively participated in furthering her now estranged spouse's gambling problems, coercing him into wagering exponentially higher amounts with increasing frequency until he was a full-blown addict. So the husband, who was identified in the court filings as M. Dallo 1990, his DraftKings username, he began using the online platform in 2020. That year, he never gambled more than $3,775 in a single month, according to her complaint. However, by 2023, Mdalo was completely hooked, betting as much as $125,000 a month, as the complaint states.
Can we back up for 1 second? $3,000 a month. Never gambled more than $3,000 a month. That's a lot of fucking money.
You know? And what she's claiming is that it went to 125,000 because DraftKings kept enticing this man and say, "Hey, but put more. You have a better chance of winning. So put more." And his stupid ass was doing it.
Go ahead, Will.
Well, again, I don't think this lady, unfortunately, has any leg to stand on because if you all remember, a few years ago, they were targeted for the same thing that this lady is accusing him of doing. However, like with all legal addictions, they introduced somewhat of like a disclaimer on the actual website, which said, "Hey, we're not responsible in the event like things of what she is stating actually happens." And so, yeah, I don't think she's going to get anything back from that, unfortunately. But naturally, and on top of that, I think of it both ways, especially from like how I operate professionally. Like they are doing exactly what they are intended to do, is to gamify and increase
Mm-hmm.
engagement and consumerism. So, I mean, I will be shocked if she even saw a dime of that money based upon all the things that DraftKings has back them in regards to these situations. Because I'm firmly believe that this is not an isolated incident. It's just the amount in which she is suing the company, which is why it is getting the type of attention that it is.
Yeah, they've been under all of these sites have been sued multiple times in multiple states. So this is not a new occurrence by any means. Go ahead, Quinn.
I just want it on record because I've said this before. I think they're predatory as fuck. And I think more specifically for the Black community, I think they're extremely predatory. I feel like we as a collective should not be supporting it. there's people who are like, oh well, everybody for themselves, but we know how addictions work, and we know that we fall victim, unfortunately, quicker than most because people love to hear a dollar in a dream and how they came up real quick, especially when you don't have anything. So yeah, I just want that on record. They ain't shit. They never gonna be shit. And when somebody find out who their CEO is, I hope they got a bullet.
I want to go on
Now,
record as nobody here outside of Quinn is promoting often CEOs.
well, let me stop because this is a recorded line.
Right. Like I don't want to be on record as wanting supporting often CEOs. Please, no.
But I do agree with Will that she probably won't get, it's probably just a waste of her time. However, what I am seeing is probably enough for like a class action to happen. And I say that because and it said this article continues, says M. Dallo, the husband, he did not develop his crippling addiction organically, according to her complaint. Instead, it says DraftKings continually mines user data to pinpoint potentially lucrative prospects and flagged Mdalo as a good target. So DraftKings invited him to join its VIP private group and assigned a team of VIP hosts to extract as much money from him as they could. It says the 4 VIP hosts looking after Mdalo knew that he was married with children and knew that he was a problem gambler, but because they spoke with him almost daily by text, telephone, or email. The host began providing Mdalo incentives such as free bets and credits to cover his losses, in addition to gifts and trophies for depositing money and gambling at levels far beyond his means.
But I mean, like, this goes back to my earlier point of I will mention this as well. I think this is their job. Like, their job is to maximize profit, kind of irregardless of cost. We've seen this with regular casinos. Like, regular casinos have had the same suits go up and lose because, like, at some point you have to take responsibility. Like, yes, they are predatory. Yes, we all know, like, the gamification of certain types of habits are just like a breeding ground for misbehavior. But like, I don't know. I don't really like the idea of going out and blaming platforms. Like, people need to take responsibility. I've seen a lot of news stories lately where they're like, oh, young men have very few prospects in the world today. That's why they're getting into gaming and betting and all of these bad habits. And it's like, yeah, that's true, but like,
So here's the thing, right? So with like, I think a staunch difference between the two is the accessibility, right? So anybody who got the internet can download an app or get to their little browser can be on that bitch and do whatever. Because there was people even in Texas at one point who was like VPN and before they shit got legal, or somewhere one of those states there was VPN into other places to do betting online. But the difference between that and like a fucking casino, like, you have to physically, if you're an addict, you got to physically get your ass up, get dressed, drive Uber, however, to get there, and then go be dumb and spend all your fucking money. Versus motherfuckers who's in the fucking house for 3 years because of the pandemic, who are on their phones all day, chronically online, and you're gonna get hit with 1,000 advertisements saying, "Hey, for $5 for your first $5, we'll give you 100. For your first whatever, we'll give you this. If you invite 4 people, we'll give you that." Like, I think that's where the aspect of like there's a point where they're gonna say, okay, yeah, that's you guys doing your job, but also too realizing that the fact that like you're allowing people who are of a certain age who are not, fully functional, as far as like being an adults that are able to do this, right? Young adults are able to get on here and do the same dumb shit.
So this is where we're going to probably diverge from being on the same page. Like, I don't think you can get into this habit of saying they're not fully formed adults. Either they're adults or they're not. Like, we have to have some age at which decisions you make after this age, you have to deal with the consequences.
You
And
do have to deal with the consequences, but there's a staunch difference, right? And this is a medical thing, right? We have been told by medical science that your brain, your frontal lobe or whatever, doesn't fully develop until you're a certain point in time. We as a society has not changed the age of, hey, you're 18, you're an adult, you can make adult decisions, you can do X, Y, and Z. Or we have not broken it down to, hey, at this level, you're this level of an adult, or hey, at this level, you're that level of adult. It's not written in stone, it's not a fucking law or anything like that. It's just the baseline at 18, you're an adult. And we also know that between genders or whatever you want to call it, there are different levels of people being able to develop to a point to be able to make wise decisions, right? To be able to use their brain and make smart choices. Even adults now, like, financial literacy is not a common thing amongst a lot of fully functioning adults who've had real ass jobs for a real long time. Like, this is something that's not like uncommon. There's people who really are in tens of thousands of dollars worth of debt because they were preyed on and were able to get card after card after card, and all they did was go swipe and do all these other things, right? And accumulated all this debt. And that's why there's at one point people helping them try to get out of debt. Like, the government was helping with that. So this is kind of, for me, crossing over into the same line. If you're going to be if you're going to be advertised to and have something easily accessible like this, I think it's predatory. And I think, like, at some point it's going to happen to enough people that they're going to say, all right, enough is enough. Like, you have to take some
Mhm.
accountability for it.
I don't think that point will ever come, only because there's too much money on the other side
Oh
and
yeah, we know
too much
that. A
too
lot
much
being
fighting
you.
for it. I don't think you can regulate your way out of this type of problem. I think at some point people have to be taught, and we have to let people deal with the consequences. I think letting people deal with the consequences wakes people up to, like, oh shit, this is real. I think bailing people out, allowing people to be like, oh, it's the big bad company, only
But here's
kind
the
of
thing, right? Just so, you're making this comparison, but this is the same thing. I would compare it to the same thing with the opioid crisis, right? Black people said, "Oh, it's a fucking problem. No one wants to fucking listen to us." They let it get bad within the non-black community, and now it's a fucking crisis. And now it's like it's way over the hill, right? When it could have been stopped or like slowed down prior
And
to
you
that,
know
and
my
people had
feelings
to.
on that. It was like, no, we don't get to play this game now. Fuck them too.
I understand that, but this is what I'm talking about. Like, if I can see something, right, and know that it's a train wreck, and just because there's not, whatever politics in play, whatever, however anyone feels about individual people being responsible, because I'm absolutely for people being responsible, but I know based off of interactions with people, based off of what people self-deprecate on the fucking line, that the collective people, more so Americans, are not fucking smart. They're not fucking smart. They're not fucking responsible, no matter what their fucking age is, whether or not they 100 years old, 50 years old, 18 years old. There's a lot of people who are not smart, and especially not from a financial aspect. They think, oh, they're gonna win. They could just do one more. They could do this. They could do that, and like they get in binds real fucking quick because in their mind, money is not real, especially when you're spending it on fucking line. It's not real. It's not tangible until they have debt collectors hitting them up and saying, "Hey, you owe me all this fucking money."
Go ahead, Will.
So to the points being taken, something kind of stood out to me. And when we talk about like predatorial practices, consumerism in and with of itself is predatorial, and it's not limited to with a age restriction. We are all kind of subjected to it from birth, essentially. So I still don't think that negates of personal responsibility of these people engaging, whether they're smart or not, with these applications, and we see it now even when it doesn't even involve money. There are tons of gambling games that don't involve money whatsoever, and there's still that notion that, or they still operate under the same way of those who actually gamble with money. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, I think uh, switch out consumerism, the word consumerism, with just straight out capitalism. And I think that is the engine. For the engine to work, you have to have an underling class that is being taken advantage of. And
Yep, unfortunately.
I think people discount that as a fact, at least in the way that we practice capitalism in this country.
And Happy, she shared something in the chat. Very good point. She said social media algorithm now tells you what you want to see, not you telling it what you want to see, because there's a lot of money for the social media platform and not for the users.
Exactly.
That's
The
why
way that
I'm
I be
kind of
seeing shit that I
wondering.
don't care about.
Go ahead, explain.
I said the way that I was agreeing with Happy posted, because the way that I see shit that I don't care about, I don't see stuff about some people in a whole different country that I don't even know these people or they play, and I don't care. Or the
Yeah.
Google Chrome, what is it? It's like the Google Chrome incognito lawsuit, like class action shit. I haven't seen an ad for that 5 million times. Like, where did that come from? DraftKings, I was getting that for a minute when that was popular during part of the pandemic. And I've never interacted or interfaced with anything of the sort. And then of course, dealing with that other platform and having the ownership change and them messing with the algorithm. So it's like you may be seeing shit that you don't even want to fucking see, and then you're getting like targeted, right? Right. So in my case, I tell people I'm neurospicy, so I know I'm self-aware, so I know there's certain things I don't do, right? I don't have TikTok. I will never get on TikTok because I know myself. I'll be on that bitch like a lot of people say, oh, I spend 12 hours on TikTok and I watched a whole this and that or third. I know myself. I have enough self-control to not even start because I know I won't be able to stop once I'm on there. But like with every other app, right? Social media apps, phones, we're so tied, integrated. Like it's a thing that even the strongest willed person has had this issue with, like being able to cut off themselves from social media, for being able to cut off themselves from the internet, being able to cut off themselves from looking at, just like checking, right? Looking and checking. And to say that that is a okay thing, and then say, well, then people who are online gambling should be completely responsible for the shit that's coming from them, I think is, I don't know. I feel some type of way. Again, like I said, I am on the side of them niggas ain't shit. They're predatory as fuck, but they're gonna get away with it because of the fact that they have enough money to pull and lobby and become legal in all the other different states where it used to be illegal.
No, I actually agree with Quinn. And to take it a step further, it was like, especially when it comes to so much money being involved in social media platforms, be it established or not established, I fully encourage people to just to be aware that their data and their information is more valuable than anything in the world. They are operating with the intention to make millions off of your information or the things that you provide. So when it comes to providing surveys, insights, help, what have you, I'm very much of the mindset of I'm not giving you shit unless you are paying me. And that is it. Because once we start doing that, we kind of shift the power. It may not ever happen, but in my own little world of utopia, like once we do that, the shift will happen. Well, we are fully respected for our engagement in these platforms and we will be compensated, hopefully, properly. So.
Yeah, I think critical mass is the key to that particular set of problems. And I just don't foresee a world in which when you're getting offered free things, with it not necessarily being free, but your data being what you're offering up. I can't foresee a world in which we give up freeness for privacy, unfortunately. People just don't want to pay for the types of services that people are willing to give away for free. That's why I think Blue Sky is an interesting experiment. We'll see how this goes. But like right now, you get to choose your own adventure. There's very little ads. There's very little ways in which the algorithm is being pitched to you. You can opt in or opt out. It will be really interesting to see if they are able to sustain this going forward. My knee-jerk response is no, they won't be able to. They're like, but we'll see.
Yes, happy ethical engineering. I 100% agree.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is,
oh, go ahead, boo. I'm sorry.
no, I was just gonna say ethical engineering. I 100% agree. But the problem is that the people who are smart and understand what that is and are for that thing are not the people who are pushing for the fuckery and who are trying to force the money.
I don't actually think that that's 100% true. Like most of the engineers I know at a FANG level actually kind of want to do the right thing.
But I guarantee you, they have a boss and a team, a C-suite that will probably tell them, "Oh,
that's all I was going to say. Is like we aren't the ones making decisions around what happens. Like, yes, you can opt out and leave, but where are you going to go ends up being the real question.
Mm-hmm. This was like y'all. Each and every last one of you had some really, really good points, and it just kind of just for me and the listeners, just kind of just made me realize that multiple things can be true at the same time. So that was a really good conversation, y'all. For real, for real.
I battle with this one because like while I agree with Will and Quinn on this is a problem and we are people are being taken advantage of.
I will say I'm probably more jaded or more on guard about the fact that this is predatory and it can lead to a bad lane of actions and just it could spiral into a lot of madness simply because of the fact that gambling is considered addiction. Just like Auntie has said in other shows that he's familiar with other people in his family that have addiction. Same here, right? I have immediate family members that have addiction problems. People are quick to say, "Oh, they shouldn't do this, they shouldn't do that, they need to be here, they need to be that." But then you come to realize, like, as a person who is not understanding the addiction, right? You're the outside being affected from the sober side, right? Of like dealing with this person, like, why you can't just do what you need to fucking do, right? Why can't you just stay away from this because you know it's bad for you? When you have a problem, there ain't shit that problem and what it can do for you and whatever you're going through is more important than the fact that you love your kids, that you love your family, that you need to eat today, that you need to worry about your finances and have money in the bank to pay your bills. Like, I know that kind of addiction, and I know that gambling is the same fucking, it's two sides of the same fucking coin. And to sit here and say, "Oh, well, this is okay," like, no, it's not okay. And the fact that it's being made easy to get to the masses is a problem.
So I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm just saying that the reality of the situation is like you can't regulate this problem away in a way that doesn't affect us probably in some more harmful ways down the road. My bigger concern actually is less of like this gambling and more kind of like things that fall outside of the regulatory spectrum. The Bitcoin, to Happy's point, going up has been kind of one of the scarier things because it's only kind of proving like, oh, you can win the lottery, participate in this kind of very opaque thing. The people who are smart, they're telling you you're dumb and you don't understand. Fuck them. We've become rich. Look at us. And there's a lot of this where it's like if you understand the like how a pyramid scheme kind of works, or how a Ponzi scheme kind of works, it's really, really hard to see when you're in the middle of it, and really easy to look back and be like, oh shit, how did we get fucked like this? And I think we're with the kind of just like trajectory that Bitcoin has been on. I think we're in the middle of it now, and come some time period in the near future, we're gonna look back and be like, why did we let this happen? And
I'm no dummy. I have this conversation all the time with people. The fact that it is a power, right? It's a network based asset, right? You have to have the internet. You have to have some kind of power source. You have to have electronics in order to have access to it, right? Some kind of power source. Simply knowing that, right? Putting two and two together. I don't want to be a doomsdayer, but the minute that you have to be unplugged, which we've had happen, right? We've had major network outages in recent times in the last 3 or 4 months. Guess what? You don't have anymore. You don't have your fucking money. And that's the shit that's like the easiest way that I can put it to anyone is like, yes, you can see the number grow big, and you could put in your own money and then pull your money out and then play with the house money if you want, and then ride it out, especially if you got in real early. But now, like, people are trying to say, oh, well, they're doing this, that, and the third, but it's not a currency that is going to survive past big world events, right? Like, if something major happens right now and we're disconnected as a world, you are not going to have any money.
So I think that is to me, that's like less a problem, because like, in the event of something like that happening, we're all kind of screwed with the way
you are all kind of screwed, right? We may all be kind of screwed, but from a immediate aspect, right? If like some people are telling people, oh, use Bitcoin as your savings account, right? I can tell you right now, I have fiduciary money, right? I have actual bills in my house. I have actual assets that today, if the world came to a stop and I needed to go and hustle and bustle with someone hand in hand, I have physical funds, not a credit card, not this, not, I have physical assets that I can say, hey, I got this. Can you give me that?
That is a rarity in as far as most people's financial situation is.
But this is what I'm saying. There are people who are telling people to only save in Bitcoin. Like that.
But to me, that isn't necessarily the problem, because like, even if you're saving, even if you're putting all of your money in your unbanked and you're putting your money into Cash App, losing the internet, you're screwed. There is no bank that you can go show up to and get money.
But here's the thing. But here's the difference, though, right? With the people who are putting their, like, so I'll give you an example. I had invested in some coins during the pandemic, just like little throwaway money. Hey, I'm not, I'll spend this on lunch or whatever. I had invested on a platform. There's been 3 or 4 different platforms that have gone down in the last year and a half. All of those coins, all of that money that was what had accumulated, I essentially lost because that platform went down. That could easily happen to a lot of other platforms because people are not fully educated, and so they're trading on Coinbase, they're trading on MetaMask. Like, it's not of course it's not supposed to be centralized, but it's not very easy. Fees, et cetera, but there's people who are really just like moving away from the ability to, like, for me right now, if I wanted to go to the bank right now, go and pull my cash out of my fucking bank account that is only seen online, right? I can go do that. I can go get physical money. You can't get a physical Bitcoin. Like, there's no representation in it in the physical world, and that's what people who like try to push it. For me, I'm just like, but you're still using it. Like, there's some people who have made a lot of money who've pulled money out, who are using that fiduciary money in order to gain assets that are not going to be tied to Bitcoin, in my opinion. But again, like I said,
so I think that's the nature of a commodity. The problem that I think that I have overall When it comes to Bitcoin, more specifically than anything else, is for Bitcoin to actually deliver on the promises that it has, very bad things have to happen in the overall economy. And you can't point to a place where Bitcoin as an asset is being used where the government is stable. Usually the argument being made is this will survive any centralized banking infrastructure. That very well may be true, but bad things had to have happened for that to be the case. And I don't want to live in a world where I'm reliant on computer algorithms in just blind faith that I'm going to be able to rectify a situation where me and you make a transaction and it's on the blockchain. We figure it out. We fight it out. Like there is no mechanism in which I can like reconcile money. Like right now, I get into any situation, I call my credit card company, I call my bank, and we can figure it out. There is no mechanism like that for Bitcoin. To me, that is the biggest problem. Everything else kind of is attached to the way that we work with money in general, in terms of being online, being offline. Most of us are fucked if there is no online, whether we use Bitcoin or not.
I mean,
No, I am.
I'm not.
Oof. I know
If I'm
that's
being
right.
honest, I'm not. I mean,
We're black. Like we'll get it in the mud and fucking figure it out. But like
not even
from
that.
like technical perspective,
Like I said, I'm not a doomsday person, but the pandemic opened my eyes to what is fucking possible. And we sit here and we be like, we get real comfortable and we like, well, if we ever get to but shit has happened in recent times and it's only getting worse. So I be, not on my doomsday, but I be, be paying attention and trying to make a little move here or there, wherever. So that
Take me
if something
now. I ain't got
happens.
it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a certain amount of things that happen, and I'm just like, you know what? This ain't for me. Unalive me, please.
Unalive you.
quickly, because I ain't got it. I ain't gonna make it too far.
I'm not trying to live
long,
without
like.
power. I'm not trying to sell my feet to get something to eat. Like what?
Not you saying sell your feet.
You better sell them feet. You get your feet
I'm
done
not
regular.
trying
You
to
better
suffer that way.
do your OnlyFans.
But no, I just think, again, like I said, the whole little gambling thing is predatory as fuck. People who believe in Bitcoin, I know there's some people, especially for Black people, that have come up, and I more power to them. I just hope they're being smart about it and they're doing the smart thing as far as like pulling money, fiduciary funds, or whatever, like buying physical assets, to leverage or spread out their winnings or whatever, investments or whatever. But yeah, I don't believe in that shit. I don't believe in it. I think it's the dollar in the dream, right? It's the anybody can do it. It's here, right here, whatever. But it's also about being smart, and we've already mentioned, like I've already said multiple times, that people are not smart. The collective intelligence of a lot of people is not very high.
I think my biggest problem is how it's marketed specifically to Black people.
I mean, so
what white people do with their money, I don't really give a shit.
Correct. But so here's the thing, right? So like, Mar is real big on Bitcoin, and there's aspects of it that absolutely make sense. Like, I've had somebody explain to me, and I've seen it in real life application, and it makes sense. So like places like, for example, Nigeria, where their money don't mean shit, and their government not trying to make it better, right? So there's a lot of them who are creators, who are financial institute or not financial institution, who are business owners, who have gone to a system of, hey, I'm not taking Naira, I want to take Bitcoin, because they know that they can then convert that Bitcoin into cash if they need to, right? And they're going to get more. It's going to have more value than the Naira that they're
for now. And you've gone on to prove my point, which is governments have to, like, your financial system has to for that
But
to be.
I understand. I absolutely understand. But this is where people are making that case, because a lot of times the conversation is about simply America, and we already know that, like, the world power, other world governments are trying to take down America because, we need to be humbled, and we getting retribution from our history. But just like we have this mindset that we can never, like, we the greatest and we can never be taken down, like, shit can happen. It's happened. It's world history. Like, it's happened over and over and over again. So the people who are teaching that, cool. I don't have no problem with that. Like, real life use case. But in America, we don't have that. Like, there's probably more now. But when Bitcoin was first pitched, you couldn't go to the store and buy anything with Bitcoin. You couldn't go to wherever a Bitcoin
If you did, you're
ATM
probably
and
kicking
get
yourself
cash from
now.
that. You said what?
I said, if you did, you're probably kicking yourself now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But like, though, that wasn't a practical application at one point for a lot of people, and so no one was buying into that shit. There's a lot of places now where, like, they like, hell yeah, we want your fucking Bitcoin, because they know they're gonna get it from you for today for $100, and tomorrow it's gonna be 1,000. Like, they see the value in it now that the number has risen so high. But
But I
again,
think that is the grift in and of itself.
it is. It's
Is
a
that
long.
you?
Listen, it's a long play grift, because even there's a few people that I follow on socials, but one guy in particular is a army vet, and he's like, "Oh yeah, y'all gonna be sad like when Bitcoin becomes a million." But he is saying that every day, right? He get on his platform every day and telling these people, and he's grown his platform simply by preaching to people, and people becoming sheep and like getting into that, right? Hey, yeah, I need to be this, or hey, and then he points out his examples. This person became a millionaire. This person became a millionaire. So yeah, it's a long play scheme. This 300 card Monty. Like, we don't see this over and over again. It's just the fact that, like, it's more appealing because it's on a global scale, and like it's millions of people, and not just like your local neighborhood or your local whatever or your state or whatever. Like, this is the whole world. And then it just so happens that there's case uses of it that are actually practical for people who need that, right? So like the example I gave about people in Nigeria who are using it
Right.
daily to survive.
I would definitely argue that for everyone saying that there is a practical use for Bitcoin, they are doing it because it is in their interest. From a technical perspective, there is zero applications where Bitcoin tends to be better than any. There are better, cheaper, more power efficient solutions that exist in the world. Usually, if you're making the case that Bitcoin has a practical application, it's because you are going to gain from it in some way.
I mean, sure.
There you have it. Because I'm just letting y'all have this conversation, because I don't know the first thing about a Bitcoin. So.
Because like, tell me a reason in which you need a blockchain to do a simple two balance book system of any sort. There are much cheaper, much more efficient ways to do this. We have been doing it for many, many years. Like, high frequency trading is done right now without the use of a blockchain, without the use of, like, I don't understand why people make the argument that we need some type of blockchain. Centralization has to be a thing if you really want to have a system that doesn't devolve into chaos. We technically have centralization across all major crypto platforms. Like, there basically are three. To me, like, every part of what makes Bitcoin an attractive alternative to air quotes fiat is largely just marketing BS.
Correct. But guess what? We love to be marketed to. I'm just saying,
Okay.
we love to be marketed to. That's just our human nature, our capitalistic society, our internet, our whatever. Like, that's just the core of who we are as a race, a human race at this point. It is what it is. But when I say the practical aspect, I'm not talking about the need for a blockchain and being able to verify this person is that person. I'm talking about the fact that there are people who are able to get money, right? Who are not able to go open up a bank account or get, Naira from whatever their financial institution is in a place where like the cost of bread is $5 million, right? Five whatever million Naira, and they don't have the actual physical Naira to give, but they were gifted this Bitcoin that was $10 a week ago and now it's worth $100. You get me? Like, in that aspect, because of the hype is
That is
growing.
like so dangerous as a
It is absolutely dangerous, but it is absolutely dangerous, but I'm not in that position, right? I'm over here on the fence where like I'm financially secure outside of that system. But those people are not necessarily financially secure out of that system. They don't have another option because one, their government is not shit. And two, like in order to get something that's not that, they're gonna have to do something illegal to do it, right? So, I have to head out. Okay. Yeah.
No, I didn't want y'all to stop talking because I was going to listen to the rest of the conversation on the recording. Y'all were having a really good, and this was very informative for somebody like me who don't know the first thing about a Bitcoin. So I really appreciated this conversation. But yeah, I did have an appointment to go make at 4:30, so I was gonna have to head out. But Chili's a co-host, and she can end the
Oh, I'm
session when y'all
tripping.
finish.
I hate Bitcoin as much as K Dot hates Drake. Like for real.
Damn. That's a lot of hatred.
Damn. Is it 4:30 for real?
Yeah.
It's 10 minutes till.
Oh yeah, I'm tripping.
All right,
I have to finish my eval.
Ooh, you better
I
finish that,
think
girl.
this means everybody's about to head out. But it's been good chatting it up. I hope you guys
Yes,
have a
thank y'all
good.
for this extra special, extra informative session of Auntie Dare's Daytime Tea. And I want to wish y'all a fabulous weekend. I might do a surprise show on Sunday. I haven't thought about it yet. But if I do, I'll definitely let y'all know.
Okay.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Like Will says, stay black.
Okay, yeah, you know that.